So now I'm going to cover some what are pretty much non-adjustable swing positions, features that you really just want to try your best to achieve and things you really want to avoid. Okay, so one of them is the straight left arm. As a typical rule of thumb, you just want to keep that straight. I mean, you can have a little bit of flex on the way back and then re-straighten it on the way down. That can help generate more zip and more lag, but that can also make you more inconsistent. And that's pretty much the only time I'd recommend it. I mean, Jordan Spieth has a bent arm at the top and he keeps it on the way through to limit his rotation of the club head. He has enough club head speed, he can afford to do that. It is something you can do. But as a general rule of thumb, it's just something you want to avoid. There's a whole bunch of reasons in terms of consistency. So if your arm is straight and you turn back, you turn through, that consistency in that movement is really going to help you with not only hitting it straighter, but connecting with the ball better. If you bend the left arm, again, for most amateurs, you tend to then lack wrist hinge, so you'll struggle to generate speed. And just think of your left arm as a spoke in a wheel, really is the best way to put it. That's the centre of the wheel, that's where the tyre is. And you just want that consistency there, always the same all the way through, both sides, just before impact and after impact. If you have any flex in there, suddenly your hands are high, it can pull on the club, all kinds of issues. And also if your elbow is bent, like Spieth uses it, keeps it square because he basically closes the grip, bows his wrist to keep it square. But most people, what would happen is, if you don't bow your wrist, which most people wouldn't, is the club face will be open. When your elbow is bent, just try it, bend your left elbow outwards and try and release the club. It's very hard to do. Now straighten your elbow and then try and release it. Easy. So you need that left arm straight so you can get full unhindered release and get your maximum speed. Now another one which is kind of linked really is overfolding the right arm. You overfold the right arm, that will cause the left arm to fold. And then we're into a whole lot of problems there as well. And overbending this right arm can also mean that you can get a full swing in without turning. You can swing all the way to the top of your swing, haven't turned, I've barely turned at all, and yet I'm parallel with the club, just because I've massively folded the arms. So making sure that doesn't overfold, so from you that probably looks like 90, but if I change up you can see that's not 90, it's probably less than that. And by keeping it less than 90, looking more like 120, 130 maybe, then it helps to make sure that you get a full rotation in and keep a nice wide arc. Another one which you really want to avoid is too much head movement, excessive head movement. And there are some pros that move their head around, and the downswing is different. Okay, I'm talking about backswing. So downswing, your head would naturally move. I mean, you might go down and forward a little bit before then coming back and out, as you're continually moving away from the direction of the club. Gets you maximum speed. However, backswing, you just want to be as stable and still as you can. I mean, if you've got an obvious weight shift to try and get power, you're going to have to rock over with it. It's very hard to shift your weight without rocking. I mean, it'll just be hips over only there, then spine angle changes, shaft angle changes, a whole bunch of errors occur. If everything's moving off together, it can be done. But as a rule of thumb, again, you're just creating complications. So for really, it's not really a non-adjustable position. There is scope for some movement in the backswing, but limited movement. So what I would say is don't let your head move beyond more than an inch. If it goes more than 1 inch to the side, then you're really looking to struggle with that. Next one is knees flexed. Over flexing the knees in the backswing is just a nightmare. I see it quite a lot as well, especially people that try and turn into this flex right knee and limit their rotation. Oh, so many problems occur from that. Over flexing the knees is a nightmare. Make sure they're not too bent. Start with them locked out, ease the lock, add a fraction of flex, just a fraction. So locked, ease the lock, add a fraction, and that's it. That's all you need to be. You don't need any more than that. And this is kind of tied in as well. High left shoulder. See it a lot. Left shoulder goes high, it moves your head off the ball. Left shoulder goes high, your shaft can go flat on the way back. Left shoulder goes high, you're going to want to drop that back down into impact. You come over the top. A high left shoulder in the backswing is an absolute nightmare. It's kind of linked with the knees, because if your knees go bent, it tends to, if you overflex the knees, you'll tend to straighten your spine, and as you straighten your spine, you get a high left shoulder. So keep the knees a bit straighter, get that shoulder nice and low. Your head turn's another one. Sometimes you may need to turn your head to allow yourself to get a full road turn in your backswing, but it's a general rule of thumb. The more you turn the head, the harder it is to come back to the ball. So try doing a drill where you just close your left eye, so you're looking at your right eye. If you lose sight of the ball, you know you're turning your head too much. So I see a lot of people practice their backswing, especially the early stages of their backswing. They practice watching the club back like this, and when they hit their golf shot, they're so used to watching the club back, they turn their head and they don't even know they've done it. It happens quite a lot. So to cover things to watch out for when you're practicing in another video. But yeah, try not to turn your head too much in the backswing. That you always want to make sure that you have plenty of is rotation, body rotation in general. If you don't turn enough in the backswing, the arms will break down or you just won't get a full swing. If you don't turn enough on the way through, then you'll tend to crumple up, and again, all kinds of problems. So one thing that is not really negotiable, and this is also probably the biggest cause of errors in the golf swing, is body turn, rotation. If you don't turn enough, you're going to have all kinds of issues. So that's non-negotiable, that one. You've got to make sure you get a full turn so that your body can stay clear of your arms and you can hit good positions. Setup is absolutely key. So much what we do in the backswing is to try and maintain what you've done at setup. Try and maintain those positions. And if you're not set up in the right place, then you won't swing to the right place, and then you're going to struggle on the downswing. So make sure you hit really good setup positions. You know, use the right setup relevant to the shot you're playing, whether it's short game, driver, iron, or whatever.